Hello and welcome to Stitching with My Kitties, floss tube number 55. Today is 28 June 2026 and I'm Patty Penn. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new, I hope you like my channel. Well, consider subscribing and liking this video. Wow. StitchCon was amazing. I saw so many friends, and I know that I'm going to leave a lot of people out. But at our table, of course, was Harry and Ann. They got in line like, was it 6:45, guys? It was really, really early. The doors didn't open until 10. And Niecy Lynn and I were quite a ways back. But they got us a good table up towards the front so we could kind of sort of hear everybody, because if you're in the middle of the room, it's really hard to hear people across the table. And even so, I still had a little trouble hearing. So Harry and Ann were at our table, as was Niecy Lynn and Karen from California, and Sandy sat with us again this year. We met her last year. And Sandy, was that your first StitchCon? I don't remember. She is Snail Stitcher, and that's SnailStitcher, no E. And she is not a snail stitcher. She likes snails. That's why that's her handle on Instagram. She is a very fast stitcher, and she stitches beautifully. She started and finished a berry. It wasn't the Erica Michaels 250, but it was an Americana berry. I just couldn't believe it. I saw her just sit there and start, and next thing I knew, she was done. And then she started Birmingham Girls, like several of us at the table that did. Niecy Lynn, me, Karen, Sandy, and somebody that Niecy Lynn knew from Texas. I can't recall her name. It might have been Jan, but I could be wrong. And then, of course, a few tables back was Dottie and Olivia, Delnora, and Jane. And then beside them was Debbie. I met Debbie at Stitch Carolinas in May. And so it was so wonderful to see her again. And of course, Jan and Ashley were there. They sat at the back of the room just for ease for Jan to get up and down. And then, of course, Levi. Yeah, he was there. I got lots to show you. So, and I know I've left a lot of people out, but it was just so good to see everybody. And we had such a wonderful time. Dottie came to Niecy Lynn at my rescue and let us share her room because I had forgotten to make a reservation when I signed up. It was wonderful. And my sweet friend Judy, hey Judy, she got released from the wound doctor. I think it was the week we were at StitchCon, which was 2 weeks ago. She got to ring the bell and she doesn't have to go back. And I'm so happy for you, Judy, and I know you're relieved. And Karen, while we were at StitchCon, mentioned that she was going to the Hobby House retreat in August of 27. That's with Beth Twist, Paulette Stewart, and Stacy Nash. And it was full, of course. I mean, as soon as I'm sure within just minutes, less than an hour, it was full. But they had a wait list. And I said, I would really like to go to that. And especially after we started comparing, who all was going to be there, the instructors, and getting to go to Hobby House would be, a once in a lifetime for me. So I got on the wait list and I got in. So I'm treating myself. Let's see. I was really surprised. StitchCon Weekend B was not full. there were at least 3 totally empty tables, at least. And most of the tables did not have 6 people at them. I would say less than half. So if you want to go next year, be looking out for it, because there's probably a really good chance that you can go. Damon and I don't have any more trips until September, and that's our big, we leave out of Honolulu for an 18-night Pacific cruise and end up in Sydney. We're gonna stay a couple days before in Honolulu. We have already gotten our tickets to the Arizona Memorial, because we didn't get to do that last time. And then I think we've got a culinary expedition, if you will. Then in Sydney, we're staying a few extra days also. It's going to be an interesting trip, because we leave out of Dulles, which is the international airport in the air. Well, we've got 3 airports in the DC area. We've got Reagan National, which is in Arlington, but I consider it downtown. That is, if we're just flying, here in the States, we always go out of DCA because it's so convenient. We have a car service. They pick us up, they drop us off, they come back and pick us up and bring us home. And we've been using RITA for years, well before COVID. But this time, Damon wanted a direct flight to Honolulu. We didn't want to have to go land at LAX, LA Airport, and then change planes and fly to Honolulu. So I think we're flying out of Dulles on United direct to Honolulu. Then we end up in Sydney, and I think we're flying Qantas back to DFW, where we get on a different plane and then fly to DCA. And that's un-American. So 3 different airports, 3 different airlines. It's going to be interesting. And hopefully our luggage doesn't get lost. Can you imagine? 18-night cruise and you lost your luggage? That would be good. Patty wouldn't be happy. So next weekend is July 4th weekend. The market is closed on Friday, so I'm going to have a 3-day weekend. So I'll work in the office Monday through Wednesday. I'll telework on Thursday, and then have 3 days to play. And I'm so excited. If you're interested in trying to join Sampler Guild of the Rockies, that membership should open to the general public around the 1st of July. So go to, I think it's, I'll try to remember and link it below the web address. I think it's denversgr.org, but I'm not positive on that. So let me link that in the description box. And I know Lisa, I will let you know as soon as I see something. Link SGR. Okay. Because if I don't write it down, I won't remember. And even if I do write it down, sometimes I still forget. So, okay. So that should open around the 1st of July, which will be what? Wednesday, I think. So it's coming up really quick. We got our SGR gifts in the mail while I was gone at StitchCon, and it came in this little berry basket with cellophane around it, and it said 250th, and then SGR 2026. I thought that was so cute, the little tag. So we got a berry basket needle minder, and I'm sorry, I haven't taken anything out of the plastic. Oh, and I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, this is going to be a long one. Hit pause, go get something to drink, put your feet up, because this is going to be a long one. So we got the berry basket, and that's a needle minder by Flamingo Toes. And then from, I think it's Pam and Bob, we got the America 250th. which I love. Then look at this. I can't believe somebody handmade these for all members. I mean, there's over 700 of us, like 775. Look at this cute pin cushion. Is that cute? This is a little salt seltzer. Now, you know, I made some of these. I might not have shown them. I can't remember if I did or not for Stitch Carolinas, but I used a tea light. I'm pretty sure I showed those, but this is just so pretty with that beautiful counting pen. And then we got, whoops, beautiful thread drops. And it came with lots of M&Ms. And we got the, I am gonna take this out because these are so pretty. It looks like a scissor fob and a floss ring maybe, or maybe use them both as zipper pulls. And this is from the Pink Needle. Let me show you that first. You can take a screenshot. And then this is what we got. These are so pretty. Whoops. Look at that. I'm sorry for the glare, but it's overcast here. So I have I don't have a ring light. I have a setup that has a light behind my camera. I have it on really bright because it's really overcast here. It's really great. And I have my the light on over the dining room table. But these are so pretty. I mean, wow. Wow. And then we got the cutest little pair of blue snips. I love them. I don't have any like this. And I think they might go over in my milk bowl, milk glass bowl that Niecy Lynn gave me for my birthday. And then we got a lens cleaner, a glasses cleaner. And I love these things. Or you can use it as to clean your screens. So microfiber, great. I love it. So thank you to everyone who put these together. I think they're fantastic. Let me get these all put away so that I don't end up with a real mess like I did. What was that one? From my market haul maybe. If y'all, I put a picture up on Instagram. My table was a real mess. So that was from SGR. And so next I have some Happy Mail. And this is from Jo Hogel. She won one of my shares. And she sent me this beautiful card. You know how much I love florals and pink. And she put a real sweet note inside, and she sent me some stickers for my book. So these will definitely go in July. And Jo, I don't know where you got them, but they are fabulous. Look at that one. The eagle holding the American flag. I love it. And then, of course, balloons and a heart. And lastly, America 250th. So, Jo, thank you so much. That was not expected, and you didn't have to do that, but it really made me happy. So, let me get this back in the envelope because I don't want to lose my stickers. And I had to hide it underneath the table runner because I knew Daisy Mae, if she saw it, she'd run off with it. And I still haven't found Karen's needle book. I'm wondering if we have two corner hutches or china cabinets, two corner china cabinets in the formal living room. I think it might be behind one of those. So, and we can't move them because it's, I'm not going to empty them. So I'm gonna have to get a flashlight, I think, and look under there and see what I can find. Because I showed you, last time or time before last, all the things I found under the buffet in the formal living room. It was like a whole sandwich bag full of stuff that Daisy Mae had put under there. Then let me show you my journal for June. I'm really still enjoying this one. And so, you know, I'll start July in a couple of days. So my new stickers will come in handy. I've got one sticker already in July, but that's it. So I'm really enjoying this book. I've said this before. It's from My Crazy Life, Lori. And I will, as soon as they become available, I'm going to get a new one. Let's see. Let me start with some sales. Now, a couple of them are sales where we have a start date and an end date. None of them have homework or have the chart divided up. But let me start with, there's a new sale. It started Friday, the 26th. No, today's the 20th. Is today the 26th or the 28th? Today's the 28th. So it started on Friday the 26th. Marcy of Amnicon Studio, so birthday was Friday. And so she chose this pattern by Lumi Stitch, and it's cherries. And of course, you know, I love it because number one, I love cherries. I have a whole bowl of Bing cherries on the island in the kitchen right now. And it's on pink. And so I'm gonna be stitching this with Marcy. And I'm gonna make it into a little pillow for my dough bowl. So that's one of my sales. Then Lisa, that's Niecy Lynn and I met at Stitch Carolinas. Lisa, Niecy Lynn, and I on July the 1st, so Wednesday, we're starting Sunshine Pairs by Annie Bees. Now, this is an exclusive to Gowron Stitchery, and I'll make sure to link them below. I have the complete kit. I have the call for, which is Jack's Rum. And that's Jack's Rum Stitches by Stephanie. I'm stitching it on 36 count. I took Niecy Lynn hers when we met up at StitchCon. Then I also got the called for Dinky Dice. And I bought the finishing kit from Gowron also, and I think I've shown this before. This is a linen. It's an Austenberg, and it's honey mustard. However, now if I can get this out without spilling everything, well, not spilling, knocking everything off. I'm surrounded by stuff all over the table and 3 chairs and I did that. Daisy Mae didn't. Anyway, I'll get it in a second to show you. So, this was the call for finish on the Jack's Rum. So, it's like that. However, I saw this squash velour, and I think I like it because it contrasts a little bit more, but we'll see. I have to, that's Damon whistling. So I've got this all ready to go on Thursday, and I have all of my pairs in my little folio that I made. So that is ready to be started, and hopefully we don't have an end date, because if we do, I don't know what the end date is. But please join along with us, because it's going to be so much fun. And I just love the pairs. I was thinking that I might start the patriotic pairs on July the 4th, but I don't think so. I have too many things going, way too many things going. And then, of course, Karen Grapp and I are doing the Janet Irving sal. And let me find it here. Hold on. Well, I know it's here. I know I took it out of the hang on a minute. I have to stand up and reach it down here behind the camera. Okay, sorry. This is the Janet Irving Sow by Jean Farish Needlework. Levi's stitching this with us. I hope y'all will consider stitching it with us because it runs through 17 May 2027. So there's no set, you know, we didn't divide it up or anything. I have a very, very, very small start, very small. And that is the upper left-hand corner because we're stitching it with the call for Cosmos. And I mean, these are just beyond gorgeous colors. So we're doing that, and I'm stitching it on, I don't remember what this is. And, oh, I have my card here. I'm really not with it today. This is Atomic Ranch 40 Count Lullaby. And I think it's just beautiful. So, you know Levi, he's over the top. So I had sent him my leftovers from some Blackbird sampler quilting cottons that I had. Well, he told me that I didn't send him scraps. I sent him yardage. Well, I had made everything I was going to make with it, so I don't think I sent him yardage. But anyway, not only did he make me a bag with my initial and the Virginia quilt block, the snail. Is that right? I know it's snail, but it might have a second name. But look at this. I mean, fabulous. Janet, excuse me, Karen Grapp. He made one for you too, for me to send to you. And this is the New York quilt block. So, Levi, thank you so much. This was not expected. And while we're talking about my dear friend, you know, we exchanged project bags quarterly. We were doing it, we're doing it quarterly. Well, he had to bring a sewing machine to StitchCon because he hadn't finished. Look at this. Because we were supposed to do a new technique that we had not done before, and he wanted to know how to do cathedral windows. Look at this. Look at the fussy cut. Yes. Let me open it up and show you that. Is that fabulous? There's more. On the inside, he dyed this kitty fabric to match. And look, he put a cat block. See the kitty? And see that the antennas are his eyes and the heart is his nose and there's his little mouth. I mean, oh my word, it is beautiful. So I've got to find something really, really special to put in here. And I'm thinking that I might want to put either All Things Wise and Wonderful. Is that the newest from Beth Twist? All Things Wise and Wonderful. I think that's the third of her big ones. I think I'll either put that or my North Carolina sampler from Sampler's Exemplar. But something really, really special. I mean, thank you, Levi. I'm bowled over. And then while he was in Alaska, he found this little charm pack with kitties. So I had gotten a free pattern from Moda that you use the mini charms, the 2.5-inch squares, and you make a patchwork bag. So that's what I'm going to do with mine. And I can't remember who had the tutorial. If I remember, I will link it below, but I printed out the directions. So let's see what's next. Hang on. Uh-oh. This table is a mess. So the bag that I made for Levi this time, I used this dog fabric. And I made him a complete set. Okay, so here's the inside. I'm now making, what do you call those? Needle minder. A needle minder with a floss, or a floss threader. And of course, I did the, thread bed, and the little notions packet. But since he thought that the, what do you call this? Oh, the Ort tray that I made, he thought it was a zipper case. I decided I had to make zipper cases too. So, and there's the inside. And what's in there? Oh yeah, a pair of scissors with my little tuxedo kitty charm. So that was, so he got one just like mine, but he didn't get a tuxedo kitty charm. He got, what did he get? Dog bones and paw print charm. Or what do you call that? Scissor fob. All right. So, and this is what I put my Birmingham girls and my There Is Room by the proper stitcher in. So let's go over a few more of these are both whips and sows. So Nancy, the disorderly stitcher, last year wanted to do There Is Room. Well, so Olivia decided, let's do it. So Olivia started, and she's Southern Yankee Stitcher. I'll link her. You've got to watch her. She does beautiful samplers, and she has the most gorgeous antique furniture you've seen. It's beautiful. And she films at various areas around her house. So she started, and she came pretty close to finishing. She's probably finished it already. If not, she's really, really close. So make sure you go and subscribe to her channel. So this is all I have. One flower. And here's the actual, There Is Room at the Table for Everyone. This is for my DEI wall. There Is Room by the Proper Stitcher. I'm stitching it on a fabric flare, 36 count even weave, but I don't remember the name of the color because I wasn't writing it down at the time. And I'm using cottage garden threads. I'm using Garcon, which is a beautiful. So I want to really work on that more. So that's There Is Room Sal, and the hashtag is simply There Is Room Sal, and Dottie's stitching it also. All right, then, whoops, I better move my drink before I get it all over my cross stitch. Then I'm stitching Birmingham Girls by Rebel Stitcher, and I'm sorry I do not have the picture of it. I don't know what I did with that piece of paper. But I'm using my Galaxy pad to stitch it, so I don't have the chart, I just have the PDF. But I started this on Juneteenth, 19 June 26. It's Birmingham Girls by Rebel Stitcher, and this is Fox and Rabbit 40 count Inca, and I love Inca. by Fox and Rabbit. When I was, when I went on the Alaskan cruise that Gene Farish put on, I think that was last September, you know, Fox and Rabbit were there. I bought 2 fat quarters of Inca in 40 count because they were different enough. But I love this pink modeling. So I have a very, very, very small start. And let me tell you, those flowers, there's 2 greens and 2 lavenders. So it takes you a little while, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be beautiful. And then lastly, I have my Janet of All Trades and I are doing a sale. We started it on 14 June, which was Janet's birthday and my mom's birthday. And it's running through 14 August. So you still have plenty of time to join us, and I hope you will. I'm stitching this on 46 count Eris from Mystic Fabrics. And look, isn't this gonna be gorgeous? Now, I learned I kind of figured out the stitching. This middle one is not identical to this one. The one that's going to be over here will be identical. So make sure you count. I caught it before I had to frog anything, thank goodness. So this is my Sentinels of 76 by Happiness is Heart Made. I will link her website below, and you can get it. I know I saw it at 123 Stitch. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's so pretty. So please join our sale. Then, while we're talking about Happiness is Heart Made, I have so many of her patterns that I want to stitch. And most of mine, almost all of mine are PDFs. So I printed out the front page. But I want to show you, this is a previous finish. I had to take it out of my dough bowl to show y'all. And this one is, hold on, let me find it. It's Liberty House. And here is my finish. I did it last year. So it's in my Patriotic dough ball. I did change this to red. On the chart, it was blue. And I don't remember if I picked up the wrong color and just kept going or what. And then I just did a little finish on the back. So there's Patriot Liberty House. And then, you know, Marcy and I did my birthday stitch, which was February Cat. Hold on. February Cat. And I finished him, and this was in my dough bowl until I changed everything out for Americana, for Memorial Day, 4th of July, etc. So isn't he cute? He's my little tuxedo kitty. So that's February Cat. And then these are some new ones, and oh my gosh, they're so cute. Here is 1776 Bunny. Now y'all know I love my bunnies. And look at the Liberty Bell. But isn't she cute? Oh my gosh, I need more time. And then here is An American Home. This is new too. And I commented on Instagram to Christy that I really liked the bunting. She said that the bunting was upside down, that the red should be at the top and the blue at the bottom. Why? Why? I love it. So then there is also a pattern similar to that. It's An American Home 1776 to 2026. So it does have this extra line here. Then there's Liberty Cat. Or have I already shown him? I think I did. I must have printed him out twice. Hold on, let's see. No, maybe it didn't. I don't remember. Anyway, Liberty Cat. My little problem child. And then I had not seen these before. So Merry Snowmen. And remember, you can go to happinessisheartmade.com and get PDF charts if you want an immediate download, or you can go to your LNS, or like I said, I saw them on 123 Stitch. Then we've got Red House Patriotic Sampler. And you know, I love big samplers. And that house is beautiful. And look at the border. Just fabulous. Well, let's see, that is 129 by 213. So that's not humongous, but it's pretty big. And then Spring Crow and Strawberry. Now, Daisy Mae doesn't like crows. We get crows that'll come up and eat the peanuts occasionally, and she doesn't like crows. Niecy Lynn likes crows. Now, I tend to be like Daisy Mae, because when I'm walking some mornings, they, if they're in the trees, they will start talking. I'm not sure what they're telling me, but. And then here's Friends, Proverbs 17:17. Friends, a friend loveth at all times. And of course, you know, it's got pink flowers, so why wouldn't I love it? And then You Belong to Meow. I need to stitch this for fall. And I don't know how I would finish it. Maybe a pillow, because I've got some little glass beads that I could make some counting pins to put in the corner. And then I've got Cat with spring tulips. And then Cat Dad. Of course, you know, that's my Ducalees. And then I have Scotty Dog Mom. Then, loving this one, Patriotic USA Cat. So, and I need to go ahead and stitch him and put him in my dough ball. And then I just printed out some showing just different ones of hers. Some of these I have, some of them I don't. And I love that. I love this one, Beekeeping Crows. And then Pomegranate Alphabet Sampler is another beautiful one. So I just wanted to show you and showcase Christy, because she's just the sweetest person, and I'm so glad that she and I are friends. Okay, so that was Marcy's B-Day Sal. Of course, My Happiness is Heart Made with Janet of All Trades, Sentinels of 76. Then Niecy Lynn and I are going to, we finished up, I'll show you, I have an FO, which was our Freak for the Beak. Next, we're starting Bubble Birds, and we're going to change the colors. I've already talked about There Is Room, Birmingham Girls, and Janet Irving. So yay, that's all of my Sals. Then let me show you, I'm coming close to a finish on American Sampler by Crochet Adogo. Look, it's beautiful. It has a lot of mistakes. The border is right. I may have to frog over here a little bit. I'm going to start the urn that the flowers are in to see if I'm going to have to frog, because I'm one line down. If I don't have to frog, I'm not going to. Sometimes I have to because I know that it will drive me crazy after it's framed. But then sometimes, like one of these flowers was won over or something. I couldn't deal with that. But, so, and I don't have to count off of anything on either side. So we'll see. And let me show you, here's the chart. And I love it. This is my second challenge piece for Sampler Guild of the Rockies. And here is the, I'm stitching it on 40 count Rockies Tan by Needle Bling. I started it on the 16th of February this year. And then here are all the colors. Nope, that's the wrong one. That went to Birmingham Girls. Sorry, this is colors for Birmingham Girls. So that's my American sampler. And then here is my FO. Freak for the Beak. Now it had Freak for the Beak at the bottom. Christy, who is the one that started the SAL and asked Niecy Lynn and I to join, she decided not to put the words. And then Niecy Lynn and I decided not to put the words. I was going to have this framed, but it doesn't go with anything in my house. And while we were at the table at StitchCon, I had laid this down on top of a project bag, and Niecy Lynn said, "You've got to make that into a project bag." Well, then Levi came over and he had his name badge that he had made quilted, and it had this beautiful, bright, multicolor tulip pink houndstooth. And I had seen that he had used that fabric before. So I had him take it off, and it matches beautifully. So this is going to be a project bag. Now I can't decide. I have never made a project bag that is doesn't have the vinyl in the front for a regular project bag. Now folios, I've never put vinyl in the front, but for a project bag, I'm thinking that I may try that for this. We'll see, because I'm not sure I want it on the back. In fact, I know I don't want it on the back. So, but I just love this. And that's why we're going to do Bobbled Birds next, because Boomerang Stitches just does a fabulous job with her designs also. Okay, whew. That was a lot. So that was my SALs, my whips, and my FO. Where do we go next? Okay. Let me start with my StitchCon table gifts that I was given. I'll start with the people at our table. Harry and Ann had Nancy, the disorderly stitcher, make these little bags, notion bags for us. And they filled it with all sorts of first aid. So, well, it would help if you don't hold it upside down. A first aid kit. Advil, a nice fingernail file, a tape measure, scissors, Purell, a seam ripper, chapstick, and mints. So, thank you so much, Harry and Ann. This was so nice. And I do have to have a first aid kit with me when I travel, because I'm always getting blisters on the back of my heels. So there's that one. Okay. Then Niecy Lynn gave us all these cute Americana bags, and it has all sorts of stuff in it. I've already lost the pen. It's here somewhere. It was an Americana pen, a notepad. Look at this. And Niecy, I forgot to ask you if you made it. A cute needle book. I mean, isn't that adorable? And you know I love needle books. Needles for the needle book. And this I love. Look. A star. I thought she made these. She found them somewhere. But this is wonderful. I'm going to hang this on the corner china cabinet on the little knob where you open the door. She also included Mod Podge and a beautiful wood needle case. This will not be going with me on travel because I don't want to lose it because it's beautiful. And I'm not sure where she found these. I should have asked her. She called me yesterday morning, we were chit-chatting. Of course, I forgot to ask her. Didn't think about it until now. And then we got floss drops. And then here's Niecy Lynn's information. So thank you, my sweet friend. Let me get these all back in here because I don't want to lose everything. And I do like keeping my stuff together. Okay. Then from Sandy. Oh, and Niecy Lynn. Also, she thought she was so cute. She sent a picture to Niecy Lynn. Niecy Lynn sent a picture to Christy and me to ask what buttons to use and whether to keep this bee or not because it sticks up a little bit. And I said, of course, keep the bee, and I like the blue buttons. Little did I know that she was making this for me. Here it is, 2026, with her initials, and she lined it. Look at that fabric, it's beautiful. Oh, Niecy, thank you so, so much. Oh, my goodness. Then, from Sandy, we got a goodie bag, and she has a Buc-ee's near her. And I've never been to a Buc-ee's, but I got cotton candy mints from Buc-ee's. She put a notebook, and so she gave me a notebook. And you know, you have to have those at all of your retreats because you need them. Nail files, red flare pen, chapstick, well, I wonder what that is. I'm not sure what you do with this. I'm gonna have to find out. And some tags. So, and you know, pink, who doesn't like that? So thank you, Sandy. And then, now from other people, dear friends, I have to share. So, from Gianna and Ashley, we got these goodie bags with a duck, an Americana duck, a needle threader and needle, some nice finishing trim, a pair of scissors, and look what's on my pink rose gold scissors. Look at my scissor fob. It's a bunny. And you know, there we stitch and we know things. I'll link them below too. We also got a fairy brush. You know, you get your loose threads out, and then candy in the bottom. And Jeanne made sure that my candy was sugar-free. Now, wasn't that sweet? Oh, thank you both so much. And then Dottie, Stitch and Scotty, gave me a kitted up. Now, first off, it's in these. A lot of people are using these new bags now, and I like them because they're mesh, because you can see through them. So I got Dreaming of Spring by Summer House with a big clip, and she fully kitted it up with linen. And this is either 36 or 40. I don't know which. And I don't know if it's the call for or not. Let's see what the call for is. 32 count vintage country mocha. Let's see if that's what this is. It looks like that's what this is. Excuse me. And she also included all of the called for flosses. Hang on. All of the called for flosses. And 2 of these, I use them for sewing. I don't use them for cross stitch. A lot of people use them around their Q-snaps or their hoops. I use mine to hold my thread, my thread spools. So, Dottie, thank you so much. And she also brought me some other charts. Christmas Rules. This is by Lizzie Kate. Give More Than You Get. Listen for Reindeer. And then Heart and Hand, Winter Whirligig. And then she gave me another one, but I can't show you because it's just the chart. So, but Dottie, thank you so much. I'm going to start this, and I'm looking forward to it. So, and then Nessa every year, well, wait, one more first. From my sweet friend Olivia. Look at this house made out of a spool of thread and the kitty pin with 2 other pins. Isn't that adorable? I love it. I'm gonna have to make a blue stitchy box. And believe it or not, I don't have a blue travel jewelry case. So I'm gonna have to go and look for this color blue jewelry case, because this has got to be showcased in a stitchy box. So, and I was so worried that it was gonna get crushed when I was coming home. Then I arranged to go from the airport and back through Nessa. She does that every year for StitchCon, and she's just the sweetest thing. But I rode with Susan Rabcow, and she has a Etsy shop. Now, right now, she said she only had her jewelry in her Etsy shop. And I'll try to remember and link her below too. In fact, let me put that card in there. But she makes these little notions with, this is vinyl on the front. And this is flannel, and then the fabric on the back. So this must be like a needle book. And she gave me one. I couldn't believe it. That was so sweet. Thank you so much, Susan. I really do appreciate it. Then a lot of people walked around giving out gifts. So, oh my gosh. Adrian Vasquez gave everyone at our table a strawberry basket. And there's her information. Now, I have to show you some of this. First off, we got strawberry jam. That's going to be eaten rather quickly. But look at this strawberry. Oh my goodness. Look. She made these. And then it has tea and candies, strawberry of course, and a strawberry parfait by Classic Colorworks. So make sure you connect with her. She's on Facebook also, and she's from Brentwood, Tennessee, and I just dropped the card, or the tag. But I want to put it back in here because I don't want to lose it. Okay. I'm trying to keep things kind of organized. And then I'm not sure who dropped this off. I can't remember. And I think it was all from the same person. Karen, was it you? Karen, I think this is from you. Let Freedom Ring by Weeks. Lotion Bar Lavender. This is my absolute favorite. I love Hive and Hollow. It just smells so good. Yeah, because she and I also had something else. Who was it? Oh, Stacey Nash's Daughters. But I prefer Hive and Hollow. And then somebody brought me this little box. Look. And scissors. So I've got 2 pair of scissors that need to go in my milk glass candy dish. All right. Hang on. I really am trying to stay organized so that I don't have a total nightmare when I finish. Okay, and then I wish I knew who walked around and gave these out. We got to choose the fabric that we wanted, and of course I wanted the floral. And they're wonderful, and if you gave this to me, would you please let me know? And pink gingham, I mean, what could be better? And then, I don't know who, but somebody had cross stitching is my superpower coaster, and I actually used it at the table. I can't find the chart, and it has her name on it, but these little tags that were 3D printed, and it has a chart to stitch on there with her information. When I find it, I will post it below and mention it next floss tube, hopefully. Then somebody gave out a stitch a day keeps the frogs away. Heart and Sew gave out this. Let me take it out of the package. Why not? Zipper pull or scissor fob, either one. I will probably use it more as a zipper pull. But isn't that pretty? And then I got a pocket hug from, it doesn't say, but it's an Americana zipper pull. And then my sister's samplers was walking around handing out waxers. And I said something about somehow or another we got on the topic of lions, and then look. Isn't that cute? So you know where it's going, right behind me. And then here's their tag. Somebody else was handing out project cards to put on the back of your frame piece. From GW Stitching Depot, I got a floss drop, and then here's her QR code. Thank you very much. And I'm not sure who handed out, some of these don't belong in here. So somebody handed out these floss drops, and I thought they were great because, you know, I love my lattes every day. And then a beautiful counting pen, and I wish I knew who this was from. A dog whistle. I don't think the kitties will react to that. Hopefully not. And look at this cute bag tag. Now, I've never seen this. And let's see. I don't have my reading glasses here. I'll just hold it up. Hopefully y'all can read it. But isn't that cute? A frog, beads. I mean, just the cutest thing. And here's the little, you know, you hang it with a little zipper pull or a little lobster claw. And Mary McBeath from Georgetown, Kentucky, gave everybody a charm, a 2026 charm and a bulb pen. And of course, Dottie gave me a Stitching Scotty sticker, because you know I have to have my Stitching Scotty sticker. That's Winston. Oh, I found it. I found the stitchable that goes with here. Let me show you. Ah, yay. All right, I'm not going to show you. Oh, okay, I'll just put the chart up real quick. Now, here's her information. And you stitch it on here. Isn't that adorable? I'm going to put that back in here so that they stay together. And then Anne put together the cutest little zipper pulls. And I had to have this one. Yeah, it's a 2026 charm. And then look, a kitty with sunglasses, Americana sunglasses. Too cute. Then from Debbie Cox of North Carolina. Hi, Debbie. So, just all my fun things. Oh, and when we rang the bell at StitchCon, or actually it was the gong this year, and I didn't like the gong at all because it scared the bejeebers out of me because my back was to the podium, and every time they banged the thing, I jumped up. So Barbara announced that I was going to be the after dinner entertainment because when the gong rang, I jumped. So the next day I told her that for that night's after dinner entertainment, I was doing backflips. So, but anyway, I got my sticker for ringing the gong at StitchCon. Niecy Lynn and I both got one. Then Megan, Nightmare Before Meg. Nightmare Before Meg. She was handing out these Mo's for Sale silks. And she has a Floss too. Excuse me, she has an Etsy store. So that was nice. Thank you very much. And then Sloan Stitches was giving out Floss. Look at her and her tuxedo kitty. And these are what she was giving out. Cute or what? Yes, yes, yes. And then So Much Fabric, So Little Time. Stitches and Such. Gave everybody a ruler. So that was all of my, oh, no, two more. Somebody gave me a PET sticker. Now I use both PET and DVT on my resins. And of course, you know, florals, pinks, right up my alley. And then somebody else gave me a Snag Nabbit. Now, Levi informed Niecy Lynn and me that there's two sizes to Snag Nabbits. So we tried to get them from, we went to the annex and asked if they could send them to us from Keepsakes. But they were out of the double ones. And we already had the big one. So we didn't get it. So from SGR, every year we have a book sale. And I got a few books this year. So I'll show you those quickly. This is Needlework, Alphabets, and Designs. And I'll just kind of thumb through it. It's beautiful. I mean, wow. So that's fun. And then I got 12 small samplers. And then I'm not sure where I ordered this. It's pure and simple, but it's wool work. And I don't do wool. I have no interest in learning how to do wool applique. So this will be a share sometime. And then I got several holidays in cross stitch, the Vanessa Ann collection. So I got 1990 and 1997. Then I was so excited to get these two books. The first one is from Gloria Seaman Allen, and it's a Maryland sampling, girlhood embroidery, 1738 to 1860. And of course, you know, we're just south of Maryland, and it just has all sorts of stuff in there. I mean, wow, I can't wait to really dig into that. And lastly, and I wanted this one so bad, Quaker Schoolgirl Samplers from Ackworth, and it's by Carol Humphrey. And it still has the dust jacket on it. And let me just open up, see, with some good things. So, I have some studying to do. So that was from the book sale from SGR. I helped with that. It's on Zoom every year, and it was fabulous this year. So let's do regular haul, and then I'll do my haul. Well, no, let's do StitchCon haul. I did not bring the bag down that we got this year at StitchCon. Go watch Niecy Lynn and go watch Stitch and Scotty. They both showed their bags. But we also got this book holder from Chantel's 141. And it has little pieces. I didn't open mine up because I needed to get it home. Then, let's see. In the annex, I picked up several things. I picked up some floss drops. These are from Lucy Bean. And then sampler floss drops from Lucy Bean. Gloriana had 30-yard hanks of their silks. And this is 12 ply. I have the Hobby House Christmas that's, I think there's this done in red, I'm not sure. Is it called Dasher and Dancer maybe? I thought this would be perfect. I mean, I'm not gonna take it out because I don't want to lose the colors and everything. But isn't that beautiful? And then from Willoughby Ann, they had a thread keep, that's a kitty. Yeah, let me take it out. It is, well, it's still reflecting. Oh well, it's cute. I love it. So, you know me and my kitties. And then an I Heart Samplers zipper pull. And 3 fat quarters. I had not seen this line before. This is Eclectic Elements. And who is that by? This is the Charcoal Moths, but I don't see, oh, it's Free Spirit Fabrics. Excuse me. So the moths. And then botanical. This will be for project bags. And then a floral botanical. I just thought those were really pretty. And then at the Annex and at Keepsakes. These kind of run together. I got a, this is a Rosewood Manor. I think it's Rosewood Manor. Yeah, I think. Floss card, floss drops. Not really drops. Then I got from Millennial Fabrics, I picked up a piece of 40 count new growth. And it's not real modeled, but it sure is pretty. Just such a nice neutral, green neutral. So I got that. Let me fold it back up real quick, sorry. But I want to keep everything so that I know what it is. Because, you know, Niecy Lynn and I really love Millennial Fabrics, as well as Mystic Fabrics and Atomic Ranch. Oh my gosh, I really like them. And William, you know, the one half of Atomic Ranch, was walking around, I think it was on Saturday. And so I got to talk to him and I told him how I loved the feel, the hand of the Atomic Ranch fabrics. And I said, you have to do something special to them. And he said, yeah, they did. They have some kind of proprietary that it's really nice feel. If you've never stitched with Atomic Ranch, check them out. And then I'm gonna hold this till, I've got a piece that I bought specifically to go with the chart. Then from Grace Notes, I got Gingerbread Latte, and this is one piece of 56. I have to try it. Look at that modeling, isn't that gorgeous? I've never tried 56. They had, Grace Notes had several pieces when we went through on Thursday night. You know, there's a preview. You can't buy anything, but you can look at everything. And when I went back on Friday when it opened, this was the only one left, but I like it because it's a nice neutral. Then, you know, I've already told you, I love Fox and Rabbit Inca, and I got 2 fat quarters in Alaska. Well, when I went to Keepsakes, they had it in 46 count. So I had to get it. So Fox and Rabbit Inca, 46 count. Because I really don't mind 46 count. You know, I'm stitching my Sentinels of 76 by Happiness is Heart Made. And I'm not having any really additional issues. I do use a 4.0 reader, where for everything else I use a 3.5, but that's the only difference I could tell. Then, speaking of Atomic Ranch, I got a half yard of 46 count cherry cordial. And that is beautiful, and that's pretty true to the color. Might be slightly darker. Then, I wish I'd gotten the whole yard after I had them cut it in half. I got a fat half of Gold Harvest by Atomic Ranch. A really nice yellowish neutral. I can just see there's so many things on this. And then, I don't know what's going on with me and green, but you know, I got that new growth by Millennial. Then by Atomic Ranch, there's some fuzz on here. I'm trying to get it off. I got a half yard of 46 count Wetlands. And I got all of those at the Annex. So I am set for fabrics, I do believe. I told Damon, we were talking, and I said, yeah, I'm getting ready for retirement, got to get all my stuff so that I'm ready when I retire. And he looked at me, he said, you're not going to live to be 347 years old. And I looked back at him and I said, well, how do you know? Possible. Don't know for sure, but it could happen. Now, hang on. I got to get this in order because I want y'all to see why I bought this. I just had to have this. It's from Fine Frog Stitching, Personette. Isn't she glorious? And I couldn't find any as dark as this, but I did find this. And this is Forbidden Fiber Co. I got a fat quarter, and it's called Rose Violet, and it's 40 count Newcastle. So it's not quite as dark, but I still think it will be very pretty. So I got that. And then some charts that I got either in the annex or at Keepsakes. I had never seen this one before. It's by Sue Hillis Woodworking. And then by Amy Brucken Designs. I have a few of her snowman charts. And this is You're My Hero. Then from Shakespeare's Peddler, Basket of Buzz. Well, y'all know why I got that. And then look at the little button. I'm gonna have to find a button. Bet that's from Jabco. I don't see it right away. And then from Lottie Dye, Kindred Spirits of the Thread. From Manny Dodonna, Liberty Sewing Set. And then from Lizzie Kate, Kitty Cat Row. And I don't have any of her row charts, and she has a lot of them, and I think Steph has done several of them. So I'm going to have to do that one. And then I got several of these charts. Niecy Lynn and I are going to, this was the exclusive for StitchCon this year, We the Women. And it's an exclusive design just for Keepsakes. It's by Heart and Hand. And Cecilia announced that all of her profits from this chart, from the sale of this chart, is going to Habitat for Humanity, because Habitat was the charity this year. And now Barbara didn't say anything, so I'm assuming she's not doing that. But what I didn't realize is that all of the tiny towns, other than this one, the other tiny towns, 10% of that profit goes to the Cincinnati Habitat, which I thought was amazing. So I have 3. We'll do a giveaway. One's for me. Then another one from Sue Hillis, Post Stitches. I'm just gonna let y'all read this. And then another from Fine Frog Stitching. I walked past this a number of times, and then I finally just gave up and said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Twigs and Tea. I might have to do it on a real, like a 46, and make it into a little pillow. Let's see how big it is. It's 116 by 156. So if you did it on 46, or maybe this is something good to try on that 56 that I have. And then I had never seen this one before. It's from Imaginating, Let's Purr. And then from my sister's samplers, I got 2 new ones this year, and both sisters signed them for me. I'm taking these out of the plastic. Mary Neal, her work 1776, and they signed them for me. Isn't that beautiful? And then HG 1865. Let me show you this one. And I love this just for the colors. And it's floral and alphabet. Isn't that pretty? And then the last chart from StitchCon is by December Stitches, and it's Naughty List. And I want to finish it just like this. Because well, I don't know if I told you, some years ago, it was pre-COVID, we had Nico and Jordy were our two kitties. They turned over our tree 4 times. Damon finally had to string it up and tie it to the window so that they would stop turning it over. 4 times. Okay, so that's everything from StitchCon. We're coming to the end. So I did put in an order with Fabric Flair because they came out with some additional patriotic fabrics. And this is all 36 count even weave. And this is Liberty Mist. Or you can do it this way, I guess. Beautiful. So that's Liberty Mist. And this one is the oldest sampler. Which I love. And I think this is like 18 by 17. The other one, I forget what size it was. Then this one, again, is smaller, 18 by 17, I think. And it's Vintage Independence. But I love that. Then, this is the 1-inch Americana Stars. Again, all of this is 36 even weave. I'm thinking that their linen is a looser weave. I might order a piece just to get the feel of it, but they don't do Verdal. So 36 is the smallest or the highest count I can get in even weave. But I love their fabrics because it has a really nice firm hand. So I love stitching on their fabrics. And then lastly, Damsonberry. And this is a very large piece. They were very generous. Oh, beautiful. Pinks and blues, the blue-gray. And then Hobby House has an exclusive from the Scarlet House. It's M. Metcalf, 1872. So I got the chart. I got the MPIs and the 40 count coffee stain linen by Cedar River. And then they also included, you know how much I love my Winterbury, a Winterbury charm. I think I'll put this on one of my Winterburys upstairs. So that was an exclusive from Hobby House. Then the New England Stitcher, a few times ago I showed you my pairs that were the 32, 36, and 40 count acrylic templates. Well, she also has strawberry templates now. So I got all 3 of the strawberry templates. And then, so 32, 36, and 40. So that was very nice. Then, whoops, hang on. I'm gonna drop everything if I'm not careful here. Okay, sorry. Then I got my my fabric of the month from Dreama at Needlecraft Corner. And you know, you can go to needlecraft-corner.com. That's her website. I got 46 count, a fat half, Mirkwood by Atomic Ranch. Just a really nice neutral, really nice. So that will go into my stash for me to work on when I retire and live to be 347. And then we always get a little something. This is a little air freshener. She puts in with our little our fabric of the month. Americana butterfly, isn't that cute? And then I also had asked her to get me from Just Nan the Miss Liberty mouse. So I got the complete kit with the linen. This is 32 count Zweigart Raw Belfast. And it's all DMCs. And then lastly, Birgit, from the Wishing Thorn, had a summer mystery box. So, you know how I love my mystery boxes. So, we got a beautiful postcard, and it has a little spring friends that Birgit designed herself. Chart on the back is some birds and strawberries. Then we got a beautiful bag. I got 40 count linen, and this is Vintage Country Mocha. Second time you've seen that today. All of the 103s, or 103s rather, from Avera Soie, along with Sparkle Braid by, who is that? Rainbow Gallery. And it came with 2 charts. It came with Catherine Course Sampler 1848. And Catherine's Bird Sampler 1848. So she just pulled out one of the motifs. And I don't know, there might be enough linen to do both of those. I need to go back and read a little closer. And there's a beautiful house chart on the front, on the inside of the top of the box. But here's the outside box. And I saved these boxes. Beautiful boxes are just fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So that is all of my haul. But there's a little bit more. We have shares from last time, and I have shares for today. So if I call your name, if you would, please either email me, pattypen199 at msn.com, or pattypen4 on Instagram. That's probably the best way. We had 4 charts by Stitches by Ethel. So, wintergreen, the key word was winter. So, Donna Abbott's Way 3552. If you would send me what you want and your mailing address, either at my email or Instagram. And I spell Patty with a Y. Then, Joyful Christmas Ornaments 2024. Janet, you won. Janet of All Trades, 65. Janet, I'm pretty sure I have your your mailing address. But if you want to drop it to me anyway, just in case I didn't save it to my click and ship through the U.S. Postal Service, that would be nice. Then we had Joyful Ornaments 2026. The key word was ornaments. And that goes to Jo Marie Hogle in 1980. Jo Marie, you probably need to send me I've got your email. I've got your mailing address because it's on the envelope. But congratulations for this share. And then lastly, we have Christmas Moon. And I love this one. The keyword was moon, and it goes to Tanya Bertiola. Tanya Bertiola. So, congratulations on our shares. Please make sure you let me know what you won, if you would. Now, something new for this week's shares and going forward. I'm going to ask that you only be a U.S. resident. It has gotten so costly to have to mail overseas. So I'm sorry, but U.S. residents only. We have, I've been making some new resin pieces, and you know I love my resin. So the first one is going to be, the keyword is going to be sparkle, S-P-A-R-K-L-E, sparkle. And this is why. Look how sparkly. So you get a frog, a floss ring, a zipper pull and a scissor fob, and the newest thing that I've started doing, needle minder. And these happen to be, all three of these happen to be needle threaders also. Some of them that I've made aren't needle threaders, but these three were. So if you would like to possibly get this share, use the word sparkle. Okay. Then the next one, I don't have the frog that goes with this one. I left it upstairs. Use the word puppy, and now you'll see why. Here's the floss ring, a zipper pull and a scissor fob, and of course a frog, and the needle minder with the floss threader. And then lastly, I would like for you to use the keyword tutti frutti, T-U-T-T-I-E-F-R-U-I-T-T-I, tutti frutti. There's your frog. Look at that beautiful glitter in there. Ah, I love this one. Floss ring, zipper pull and scissor fob, and lastly the needle minder with the floss threader. So that is the shares for this week. I will be back on the 12th of July for floss tube number 56, because this was 55. I wrote down the wrong number, but it is 56. And I will link all of the floss tubers that I mentioned at the bottom. You know, Amnicon Studio, Marcy, you gotta follow her. She's also a knitter, a crocheter. She spins. She does garden videos. Just wow. Niecy Lynn, Southern Yankee Stitcher Olivia, Stitch and Scotty, Dottie. We Stitch and We Know Things, Jeanne and Ashley. Now they were doing an every other week or every 2 week floss tube. They've recently swapped that to once a month. So, but make sure you check them out. Jeanne dyes a lot of her own fabrics too, and they're beautiful. I'm sure I'm missing some people, but I will go back and figure out who else I missed. I will link, of course, Happiness is Heart Made, Gowron Stitchery, Needlecraft Corner, and Fabric Flare. Now remember, I have not figured out how to make those hot links when I'm linking to a website. I've even gone to YouTube help and can't figure it out. Something in my settings, evidently. I'm going to try again. If I can't make it a hot link, please just copy it and paste it into a new browser window, and it'll take you right there. I will also try to remember to link the Etsy shops that I mentioned. And I guess that's it. Boy, over an hour and a half, an hour and 35 minutes and ticking. I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed seeing all of, oh, I'm not done. Joan Wick had bags at StitchCon. I almost went crazy. She also walked around and gave out floss drops. And here's her card. I will link her below too. I have to write that down. Link Joan Wick. You know, Niecy Lynn and I found her at the last Stitch West we went to. Well, on the preview night, I saw several kitty bags and knew that I had to have kitty bags. So I got this one, you know, and I love them with this mesh because it's lightweight. She does such a wonderful job. Oh, it's still closed up, but it has a nice firm acrylic that you put on the bottom to help it be stable so it stands up. But the best. And Harry and Ann were in the annex and was able to grab it because she only had one of these. Look, black kitties. Look. And look at the beautiful gingham on the inside, or check. I think that's gingham. No, that's check. Doesn't matter. It's beautiful. Then, of course, I had to go back and get the stand-up mesh bag that goes with it. I had to have it. So, with that is everything. I hope you will subscribe, like the video, comment, leave me messages for the shares, and I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks. A very, very happy 4th of July. We will not be going anywhere near downtown. I probably will not even leave the house other than to do my walk on Friday. Oh no, I will, because I've got to go to Total Framing to pick up Salute Abigail and drop off American Sampler. So that's why I have to finish up American Sampler before I can do anything else. I have to finish that up so that I can take it out there on Friday. So have a great 2 weeks, and I'll see you back on the 12th. Bye.